everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of building an e-commerce app from scratch. In part 1, we cover the prerequisites and data package. If you haven't watched it yet, click the I button to watch. Now, in part 2, we will focus on setting up 3 things: the bottom bar, navigation, and the profile screen. I could have started directly with the home screen, but we are intentionally covering the easier part first to build a solid foundation. Since the home, cart, search, and profile screens are all connected through navigation, setting this structure early makes the rest of the app much easier to implement. Also, going step by step like this helps keep the code clean and avoid confusion while writing it. So come back to Android Studio. Let's first create 4 main screens of the app. Create a new package, UI screens. In the UI screens package, create 4 classes: home screen, search screen, cart screen, and profile screen. Now, in each part, we will cover one screen. Today is profile screen day. But before jumping onto it, let's set our bottom bar. Create a new package, navigation. In the navigation package, create a new class, BottomNavItem. Make this class a seed class called BottomNavItem, which is used to define all the items of our bottom navigation bar in one single structure place. See, we are not creating a bottom bar in this file. We are defining the screens for bottom bar navigation. Understand? The main bottom bar we will create in the next file. Here, we are only defining the navigation for the bottom bar. Got it? Alright, let's first understand what a sale class is. A sale class in Kotlin is like a closed box. You decide in advance exactly which classes are allowed inside it. No other classes can extend it from outside the file. In simple words, the compiler already knows every possible type that can come from this class. In our case, all 4 screens in our bottom bar: home, search, cart, and profile screens. Hence, to avoid extra screens or unknown error, we use a seal class. Now, coming to the code, BottomNavItem takes 2 properties: a root, whose data type is string, which is used by the navigation system to move between the screens, and an icon, whose data type is image vector, which is shown on the bottom bar. Then we define 4 objects, starting with home. So for home, BottomNavItem has its 2 properties. First is root, like a keyword. I'll say home, and an icon as a home. Basically, if I want to navigate from anywhere to the home screen, I will simply write the root name, that is home, and I'll be at the home screen. Simple. Then likewise for search, cart, and profile. And each one represents a single tab in the bottom navigation with its own root and icon. Now next, let's define the navigation for these 4 screens and also create the bottom bar. So for that, in the navigation package, create a new class, AppNavGraph. Make it a composable function. Here we will define all the navigation of the screens and also design our bottom bar. First, let's design the bottom bar outside the composable. Create a new function, bottom bar navigation, which is also a composable only. So the function takes a nav controller because this is what will handle our screen navigation. Inside it, we define a list called items. The list of contains all the bottom navigation tabs coming directly from our C class. BottomNavItem dot home, search, cart, and profile. Basically, we have added all the bottom bar tabs in a list. And then we can display the list however we want. Now, to display the list, we will use navigation bar. The navigation bar creates the actual bottom bar UI. To make the navigation bar a little modern, we will use a background to style it. Inside it, we will use brush dot vertical gradient to give a smooth vertical gradient using two shades of violet. The darker violet shade is 6A, 1B, 9A, and the lighter violet shade is 8E, 24AA for that gradient look. The container color is transparent, so the gradient shows properly, and adding a slight 6 dp elevation for depth. Then we read the current route from the nav controller using current backstack entry as state, which allows Compose to automatically recompose when the selected screen changes. In simple words, here we ask the controller which screen is currently open. By using current backstack entry as state, we are telling Compose to keep an eye on the navigation state. So whenever the user moves to a different screen, Compose automatically update the UI and highlight the current bottom bar icon. We don't have to manually refresh anything. Compose handles it for us. Got it? After that, we loop through each navigation item using items.forEach. Make sure import is correct for items. It should be a list. It checks whether the item's route matches the current route to know which tab is selected. And create a navigation bar item for each one. Basically, create one navigation bar item and use it for all the items present in the bottom bar. Inside the navigation bar item, the selected checks the current route and navigates the user using onClick. The onClick navigates to the route that the user has clicked on using nav controller. Like if the user has clicked on the search screen tab of the bottom bar, then navigate to the search screen. Simple. But it also pops up the start destination, which is our home screen, by removing it from the background. Then using launch single top as true to avoid creating duplicate screens. Finally, we display the icon for each item using icon. Add an image vector as the item icon, content description as icon, and tint as white. Then customize the selection indicator color to give a subtle highlight effect on our bottom bar. So navigation bar item defaults dot colors. Give the indicator color as white. With low transparency using copy alpha as 0.18f, which makes the indicator look soft and subtle when a tab is selected. And our bottom bar structure is ready. This is the structure, and these are the objects that will fit in this structure. Got it? Now let's add navigation to our 4 main screens. So here inside the AppNavGraph composable, create a nav controller using remember nav controller. Next, we wrap everything inside a scaffold. The reason we use scaffold is because it gives us a ready-made layout structure for our bottom bar. Here, we pass our bottom bar navigation into the bottom bar slot, which means the bottom navigation stays fixed on the screen no matter which screen the user is on. Now, inside the scaffold content, we get padding values. It represents the space taken by the bottom bar. If we ignore it, our screens will go under the bottom bar and get hidden. That's where the box comes in. The box acts as a container that feeds the whole screen using fill max size and applies this padding properly using modifier.padding padding values. In simple words, The box ensures that our screens stay visible and don't overlap with the bottom navigation. Inside this box, we place the nav host. The nav host is the navigation map of the app. We tell it which nav controller to use and what the start destination is. In our case, home, meaning the home screen open first. Then inside the nav host, we define all our routes using composable. Each composable block connects a root string to an actual screen composable, like home screen, cart screen, search screen, or profile screen. So our first composable whose root string is home. It will navigate the user to the home screen. Likewise, cart composable navigates to the cart screen. Search composable navigates to the search screen. And profile composable navigates to the profile screen using their respective root names. All the new screens that we will create in the upcoming video will be added here for the navigation. Now let's design the profile screen. It's super duper easy. It's just that the prettier the UI is, the more code you have to write for it. Go to the profile screen. So there is nothing logical to explain here. You just have to create Jetpack Compose design for a profile screen. This is what we are creating, a simple, beautiful UI. If you want to create a similar screen for your app, follow the code as I write. Also, it's kind of like a dummy because the profile picture is manually added, but obviously you can add a photo picker. Also, the menu options do not lead to another screen, but again you can make them clickable and add the respective screens. All of this are small features that I have already taught you in my previous videos, so I assume you can implement them. If I add all these little features, the series will go up to 10 parts, and the motto of learning to create a basic e-commerce app will be finished. Hence, I wanted to keep the app point to point with the essential features only. But let me know if you guys want me to add all these little features. So I'll probably extend the series and make a fully functional e-commerce app. Alright, if you will see, we have a profile image and a name below it. Then we have 5 menu options: personal details, privacy and security, manage address and payment, accounts and settings. All of them are in a card-like structure. We also have a highlighted logout option. Each one of them has an icon associated with it. Then we also have a floating action button like a customer service chatbot. And that's it. Now let's create it. The profile screen is a composable function. Inside it, create a box. The reason for choosing a box here is layering and positioning. It allows us to place multiple UI elements on top of each other. This is important later when we will add the floating chat button. We make the box fill the entire screen using fill max size and add padding 16 dp. Inside the box, we place a column because the main content of a profile screen flows vertically. Profile image at the top, name below it, and options listed one after another. The column also fills the screen using fill max size, and horizontal alignment is equal to alignment.center horizontally, which ensures that the items like the profile image and name stay centered. Next comes the profile image. We use the image composable with Painter resource to load a drawable AK logo. I'll keep the content description as null. The size 96 dp gives the image a fixed size, and clip circle shape makes it a circular profile picture. After that, we use spacer to add vertical space of 8 dp height. Then we show the user name using text. Android knowledge. Then we keep the font size as 20 sp and make it bold. Another spacer adds separation before the list of options, which is of 24 dp. Now we move to the menu options section. Instead of writing the same UI code again and again, we use a reusable composable called menu option. So create a composable function, menu option, outside the profile screen with two main parameters: icon, whose data type is image vector, and title, whose data type is string. Each call passes an icon and a title, like an icon and a text, personal details inside a card. So create a card which is fill max width, vertical padding 6 dp, and this is where you can make the menu option alive, means clickable. I am going to leave it blank. Then shape as a rounded corner shape of 14 dp, 3 dp elevation, and the container color of the card is white. Now, as we are positioning the icon and text beside each other, I will use a row whose padding is 16 dp and vertical alignment is center vertically. Then inside the row, create an icon which displays the icon, content description is null, and icon color is violet. This is just the structure of menu options. We will add specific icons and text later. Then give a spacer of 16 dp width. Below it, a text that displays the title, font size is 16 sp, and font weight is medium. Our menu option structure is ready. Now let's use it here inside the profile screen composable below the username. Menu option whose icon is person and title is personal details. Easy? Likewise, I will create for privacy and security, manage address and payment, accounts, and settings with the respective icons. Next, below it, create a card for the logout menu option. Fill max width, clickable blank. The reason we are creating a separate card instead of using menu option composable because of the container color is different here. 16 dp rounded corner shape with violet as the container color. Then same row with 16 dp padding, center vertically. Inside it, an icon with a logout icon, content description null, and icon color is white. Again a spacer of 12 dp width, then a text that says logout with color white, size 16 sp, and bold. The last element is a floating action button for the customer chatbot service. This is exactly why we choose a box at the top. It lets us align this button to the bottom end of the screen without disturbing the main layout. So creating a floating action button, I will keep the on-click blank, align it to the bottom end, keep the container color violet and circle shape. Then inside it, create an icon, add a message icon with content description, chat, and icon color as white. And that's it. Our profile screen is ready. In part 3, we will build a beautiful card screen and a payment screen. Okay? So yeah, that's it for the video. Make sure you watch all the upcoming parts to build a complete e-commerce app from scratch. Also, if you're new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.